I think you start to learn a lot more about the team intrinsically and how much you haven't done with them and how much every member supports you in the journey for growth. As dentists, we often take the misconception that the more you work, the harder you work, the better the practice will be. But there comes a point where you want to scale and that system doesn't work anymore. So DWB as a sort of collective unit helps us to identify that so that we can change the narrative and give people more specific roles and responsibilities so everyone wins, not just the practice owners but the people who work with us, both associates and the staff.
So from the training I've done with the dental doctor and Babna's support, I would say almost immediately the finances changed. Okay, I do remember actually, even though it's going to be almost 10 years since Babna supported me, I would say within the first year, the turnover doubled. Second year doubled again. Okay, so there was huge growth in the business. We just didn't know how to tap into it, and Babna certainly opened doors for us.
I think for us the biggest shift was everyone talked about green space, but we didn't know exactly what we were supposed to do in our green space. We had lots of thoughts but didn't know what was most effective. So the coaching program, drip feeding week by week what we should be working on, encouraged us to understand the concept before creating more time in our diaries and limiting our clinical time, and actually investing that time back into the team, growth meetings and things like that have had quite a direct impact then on our satisfaction, our team satisfaction, and then our growth.
So I was setting up a practice, and we were trying to improve the consistency of the team. We've grown substantially since then.
You can see a pathway to scaling where more people are going to take more responsibility. It's going to give us the headroom to be able to think about how we can change the direction and shift of the practice, how we can make it grow from a day-to-day working financially. I think just the ability to think, as Poonam says, with green space is so important. But when you're working within a unit as a dentist all the time, you haven't got the time to think about that. So how will we grow? So I think the headroom and the thought process time are the two biggest things that I'll take away from it.
I was actually thinking before I came here today where we are now. I'm at 6 times revenue of where I was back then. So things have definitely changed. The ability to do what I do now wasn't there before, and a lot of it came from aligning with some incredible mentors like Barbara and Rahul.
Massively. I think Dental Wealth Builder has helped us change pretty much everything. Before Dental Wealth Builder came on board, I was working 5.5 days a week, including half day on a Saturday. Now I kind of work 3.5 days a week. Obviously we use the extra time for marketing and stuff like that, but my personal time off is better. However, my productivity has doubled to tripled, despite the fact that I'm working like 40% less.
You have to keep learning from what we should be doing so that actually your systems are in place, and then the growth is just a natural curve.
I think what it's done is it's kind of focused what's really, really important. I don't think we were giving enough time for leisure, and personal time away, and certainly straight after COVID, we were suffering from severe burnout. So the fact that we've been able to dedicate more time, personal time and leisure, that's actually one of my main focuses that I'm so happy that DWB's allowed us to, get right. So from the training I've done with the dental doctor and Babna's support, I would say almost immediately the finances changed. Okay, I do remember actually, even though it's going to be almost 10 years since Babna supported me, I would say within the first year, the turnover doubled. Second year doubled again. Okay, so there was huge growth in the business. We just didn't know how to tap into it, and Babna certainly opened doors for us.